Hello, it's Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge. Today we're going to look at another knife from Sanrenmu. It's the 7030, formerly known as the 730. Sanrenmu has had this knife on the market for quite a while. So let's bring the camera down to the bench and we're going to take another close look at this thing. Well, not another, our first close look at this thing. Because there actually are not very many videos on YouTube, at least that I could find, very few, especially in English, on this knife, and it deserves a review. So come on down, guys. Let's take a look at this thing. All right, we're all set up here. What you see on the top of your frame is the Sanrenmu 7010, also formerly known as the 710. That knife has loads of reviews on the internet, on YouTube. This knife, its brother, look at how closely sized and everything it is to the 710, the 7010. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about this knife and if you might like it. If you like the 710, I think you're probably going to love, like to love. I just try to mix that together. I think you're going to want to give this one a shot. Right now, you can get this at Gearbest for less than $11. FastTech is right around $11, from what I can tell. This is May 21st, 2016. So I don't know when you're watching this, but that's what the prices are indicative of this date. So there you go. Let's see if, oh yes, that came out good. You can see the number on there, 7030 LUC-SCY. That's the full label. This knife comes in a number of different silver varieties, and they have two versions of it in black with a plastic that is a nylon that is glass filled, and it looks quite a bit different, but it's got the same number. That seems strange to me. I will not be looking at that at all. My review will be looking at the 7030 with the metal silvery frame, and its variations are going to be very subtle between the three. I think you can get three different colors right now, which really just means the silver with different colored anodization. I'm not sure. Well, it depends on how your computer monitor is, or your mobile phone, how the color is set up on it. You may or not be able to see very well the difference in the color there. This one sort of looks like a light copper kind of color. I'm not sure what to call it. But let's take a look at this thing. This blade, let's start at the blade. Everybody loves the blade. It's 7.2 centimeters long. That's, right around 2 3/4 plus a little bit, not quite 2 7/8-ish, well, sort of around there. It's just under 3 inches is a better way to say it. It's got a very subtle little recurve back here, and then a nice big round belly, drop point with a nice swedge to give it a really good accent. I'm going to try to get the light to, there we go, to glint off of that so you can see. If this looks good on your monitor, imagine how it looks in person in your hand. Oh, nice blade. It's got nice flat spots here, so if you've got the kind of sharpening system that grabs on, it's perfect for that, so you'll be able to use that. It comes very sharp. In fact, my 7030 is sharper than all three of my 7010s that I've owned so far, at least from the factory sharp. You can certainly make them sharper on your own. So this thing just slides through paper, it slides through newsprint, no problem. I've done a bunch of cardboard, I've done all kinds of things on it, and it works great for that. So we've got this hollow grind that slides along here, and it comes to the primary grind. For being so very sharp, this one isn't ground quite down the middle. It's ground a little bit more on the it's ground a little bit less on the frame lock side than it is on the other side. That doesn't affect how sharp it is, and as I use it, I'll be able to remedy that and make it a little bit better, but it doesn't really matter on a knife that's 10 bucks, $11 knife, really? If it's very sharp and it works, nobody's going to pick up your knife and say, oh, that's off, you must be a loser. No, we're not in grade 3 or 4, or 7 and 8 in the playground with those guys. All right, let's keep going with this. It's got a nice thumb stud. It's good enough distance away from the edge of the thing that you can very easily flick it open. It flicks very well. I would show you how well I can flick it on my left hand, but I've cut my thumb just a little bit. Not from this knife. I cut my thumb from being stupid. I ran my thumb this way. I grabbed a different knife and I put too much pressure on it with my left hand. And just on the end of it, just slid it in there a little bit. It was a little too sharp. Too sharp. Touché. All right, so there's that aggressive blade. I like this ramp coming up, and then it drops down right there, flattens out, comes down to the swedge. That's an angry looking blade, isn't it? That thing looks like it just wants to go like a shark. It's hungry. Okay, I digress. The thumb studs are really nice. As I've shown you on other videos, and the thumb studs on some knives sit very proud. If I hold this one straight, you can just barely see the thumb studs on either side. They do not stand up too high off the edge. It works fine in your pocket. The jimping on here is very adequate. It's not very deep. There's a good angle for it. But they're adequate. They're not sharp at all. You're not going to hurt yourself at all by rubbing your finger as hard as you want back and forth on it. Like on some knives, the jimping's got this little sharpness to it. This one's great. So when it's in your hand, your index finger goes in the primary choil here, the one that has the frame lock on it. My other two fingers go here and my pinky back here. And then I roll them together, put my thumb up here, and I've got a very solid hold on this little knife. So it is what it is. It is a small knife. Your hand will get tired if you're trying to hold it like this and you're going to try to do some difficult tasks, like if you're trying to whittle wood or something with this knife. This isn't the kind of knife for it. The handle just isn't adequate. You're going to get tired of it pretty quick. Not that the blade can't do it. The handle's just not designed for it. But you can get some good purchase on there, grab it, and for just a few minutes, this thing can just go to town like nobody's business. And it just keeps going. Because that belly just really loves working hard, and that recurve here just sort of grabs anything that didn't get cut. If you're sliding it along, just cuts it out. What do you think of the shape of the chassis here, the frame? What do you think of that? How about this right side up way of looking at it? I like that. It's got a nice look to it. It's got nothing sharp. It comes down here. You can hold it. The reverse hold, I put my pinky in that choil right there. And you can almost get, as like with a lot of smaller knives, you almost can get a better grip in reverse than you can any other way. You hold this thing tight and you can it'll just go to town for you. Not that I recommend, stabbing people, but if you need to chip at something, this knife can take it. I don't have my wood here. I did it for a few videos in the past where I would show you how sharp how good the heat treat was for the tip, and prove to you that the tip won't break when you stab it into some wood and bend on it. I can't do this on our dinner table. I still have to refinish this. Guys, you got to remind me, refinish this before the end of summer. Keep the wife happy. But the heat treat on here is good. I did jam this into some wood and twist and pry on it. Not hard. I don't want to abuse my knife, but just enough on some softwood to show that the tip is strong and that the knife will it'll work properly for me. So it's got this nice all silver look. It's got this nice highlight color here. You can get some other colors. The frame lock locks up. Let's get, there we go. We got good enough light in there. This one locks up a little bit early. It doesn't go quite to halfway, but there's absolutely no play in it at all. I can't get any flex or anything to happen to it, and yet it's still it's quite loose. I'll put this on my nail so I don't cut myself. See, it just wants to slide along, and so it's not very tight at all. That's why I can flick so easy. It's just no problem flicking it. So the frame lock is adequate, and it's only going to get better as it moves over closer to the middle, and then it'll have, a really strong grip on it. The clip serves as a the words are just not coming to my brain today, guys. You can't hyperextend the frame lock to break it here because the clip gets in the way, which is good. It's a good deal. Two-in-one deal with the clip. The clip cannot be changed. It's in this one spot only, unless you were to drill some holes yourself. But even then, I'm not sure if it's a good idea, because the pivot screw, let's see if, yeah, that's a much better angle for what I want to tell you. The pivot screw right here, I'll use a pen. The pivot screw uses the clip sort of as a washer. And so if you took the thickness of that washer out, I'm not sure if you're going to run out of thread, if it's going to somehow become a problem. Maybe I'll check that out in the future. If any of you really want to know what does this thing feel like without the clip at all, if you want to carry it in a pouch or something, I'll do that for you. The clip is very functional. It's nice and short. It's not too big. It's not too small for this size knife. It looks good, and it's nice and strong. Yeah, my thumbnails aren't strong enough. It might be a little bit too strong, actually, but that's easy enough to fix with, you just take a steel edge of some sort and just lift it up a little bit a few times, and just don't hyperextend it, but just flex it a little bit that way, and that'll loosen it up. But it's not too loose for me. It works good I'm generally wearing jeans, and it works good for that. So mine came out well. It's got the open pillar construction, so you can see right through it. There you go. See, you can see right through the thing. No problem. So it's easy to clean out. It's easy to oil the pivot if you need to. And this one's got two brass washers, one on each side in my example. What else is there to say that you might be interested in? Ask me in the comments if I missed something. I just really like this, and I'm going to do a review very soon where I go over all the knives that I've reviewed in 2016. I started the channel in 2016. I'm going to go over all of the knives of this size, roughly this size that I've reviewed, and I'm going to pick a winner. And so prepare yourselves for that. If you know of a knife that's in the size range of the 7010 that you would like me to review, and it's a knife that I can get in the ballpark of, $15, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, for a knife this size, $15 US, I'll try to get it. I don't know if I'll be able to add it to the review, because if it's a knife I have to get from China, those things take 5-6 weeks here, because the Canada Border Services Agency seems to be reviewing every single knife that comes into the country, and that creates a backlog, and so shipping is really slow for that. All right, so what did you think of this? Please leave your comments. If you liked the video, hit like. If you think you like the way I do reviews, subscribe to this video, and tell your friends about it. I'm getting a lot of subscriptions lately. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do a giveaway for when we get to 100 subscribers or not, but stay tuned for that because there's a good chance that I will. I might make it 125 just to be different. I'm an oddball sometimes. But there you have it. Remember, guys and gals, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb. Oh, this review's too long, isn't it? I might have to edit out some of these things because I'm at 14 minutes 50 just for this segment. That's without the shot at my face. Oh well, guys, here we go. I thought I was going to make a shorter video, but I made it longer. Have a great day. Bye now.